Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now in the workshop at the moment we've got about a 2020 Suzuki 500cc Kingquad. This is the AXI version with the power steering, and I'm doing a series of videos which all add up on how to service this particular machine. One of the jobs is to replace the spark plug, and obviously we're going to use a nice quality NGK, and that's the part number there. Now there's a few panels to remove to dig your way in, so we'll have a quick look at the service manual. It'll tell us what we need to do and we'll crack on. Here we go. It's used.
Paint something without wiping.
Honestly. Okay, very quickly. I know it's a simple job, but here's the proper information. Spark plug cap and spark plug removal and installation. 1. Turn off the ignition. 2. Remove the right side cover and right inner fender. Refer to front side exterior parts removal and installation in section 9D-6. Disconnect the spark plug cap. Remove the spark plug with the spark plug wrench. All sounds very simple. Okay, so we need to head over now to 9D-6. Okay, inner fender removal. Remove the inner fenders, one by removing the fasteners left and right. That's pretty simple stuff, isn't it? I did read down here the side cover is slightly different on this particular bike. It's all one piece. It's a bit of a pain. So I'm going to crack on and get all those covers taken off. Now it looks like the plastics on this Kingquad are slightly different in layout to what's in the service manual. Obviously that's an older manual, and the plastics have been updated. So we're going to bumble our way through. Let's get the inner guard taken off first, and then if we need to take anything else off, we'll do that as well. Right, quick look around. Don't need to watch me do this. We've got, on the inner guard, we've got a little pull pin here, and we've got, yes, that one there is actually that one there. So you've got to undo it from the outside. That makes sense. And then there's another one up here. This is slightly different. You just push the center in to release that one. And I think, that one's already done for us, look. Brilliant. I'll fix that later. I think we're about there actually. In fact, that one isn't even part of it. There's a separate piece altogether. That's the part of the footwell, which has to come off at some point anyway. Okay, I'll crack on and get that pulled out. Right, we can get in there now and we can get to the spark plug, which is, oh my word, it seems to have two of them. What's going on there? There's one cap here, look. Let's pull that one off. And there's another one behind it. Two spark plugs for one cylinder. That's ridiculous. Unfortunately, it's very dirty in there, so we need to give it a blast out with the airline before we can even contemplate taking those plugs out. Otherwise, some dirt might enter the cylinder. Right, hold on to your horses. Here it comes. Jeez! Hopefully that's enough. To be fair, I was wondering why they sent me two spark plugs. I'm like, it's not a twin, it's only got a single cylinder. What's going on? Why send me two? But then I thought, well, if I drop one on the floor, then I'll have a spare one. That might be the reason. I don't mind that because it just goes into stock and I'm bound to service it again at some point. But it turns out it needs two spark plugs. Two spark plugs for one cylinder. Most bizarre. Anyway, the part numbers are there. Right. So those are the part numbers. So you've got what you need now. Both the same. NGK, obviously quality plugs, not a sponsor. Now, before we head under the bike, it's a good idea to find out the right size spark plug socket. So you can take one out of the box. There is the plug. And I've done this off camera, obviously. And this one is a 14mm, see on there, look, spark plug socket size. God, where is it now? There, look, 14mm. So we'll just double check. Fits perfectly. Right. So now, first job is to go and remove those old spark plugs. But I want to get the camera and just get right in there and look to make sure I've cleared all the dirt out of the way, because the last thing you want is some dirt or mud or whatever it is to get into the cylinder. That will be catastrophic and probably result to major engine damage a bit further down the line. I don't want that. I don't want to get the call saying it's burning oil now. Okay, it's never the easiest job getting in there, but it's quite a neat trick now we all have mobile phones, is to have a little look. Just to make sure there's nothing still lurking, no lumps of dirt lurking on top of those plugs that's going to drop straight in the cylinder. I think we look pretty good actually. I'll review the footage. Looks pretty good to me. Right, I think we're good to go. So let's get back under that fender and get those plugs pulled out. Now, it's a very confined space under here and the camera's taken up most of it, so you've got to bear with me on this. If the camera works pants, which it probably will be, you'll know why. Call Mr. Plug. See if we can get it on first. There we are. Right, he's on now. Get the socket, get the ratchet in place. There we go. Right, first plug is now loose. Go faster, Andy. Go faster. We're all bored. It's just a spark plug, he says. Right. Let's release the ratchet. I can do that by hand. Sorry, my hand is in the way, but it's quicker. God, it's a long thread. There, look, still there, socket. Jeez. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Right, we're there. Okay, plug number, we'll call this plug number 1. Ooh, look at that. Big chunk of mud. Hopefully we caught it on the threads and not any more in the cylinder. Okay, that's that one out. And now we'll go for the other one. Right, plug socket going on. I have to rotate. There we are. Okay, now, can I get in with an extension bar on that one? Possibly. You've got an amazing view. I'm actually using the camera as my eyes, because you can see a lot better than I can directly. Right. Bear with me. Okay. And he's blocking the camera completely again. Can I get in? Oh, I can. Look at that. I can get in from the front. So yeah, you can watch it coming out now. Extremely long threads on these things. Dum 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 dum. Just imagine some elevator music while I'm doing this. Oh, I think we're about there. We're there. Right, how's that one looking? That one's pretty clean. Not too much mud on it, that's the important thing. Right. Geez, back to the bench. Managed that in one take. Wasn't too bad, considering it was really tight under there. Now, spark plug number 1, the first one we took out, is that one there. If it's going to focus on it for you, you can have a good look at that. There you go. If I get out of the shot, it might actually focus for you. There you go, that's that one. And then the other plug, spark plug number 2, is that one there, look. Still focusing on me. How's that? If we do that, look, that work? There we go. So not bad at all. So next job is to fit new plugs. Now these are pre-gapped. They've got the -9 at the end. Let's have a quick look in the manual and make sure that the gap of the plug we've been supplied meets the spec, because it might not. Geez, the information is all over this manual. You find yourself flicking from one page to the next. So it says here spark plug inspection and cleaning, because there's no spark plug gap information on this page, but it says plug inspection and cleaning in section OB or 0B-6. So let's go back to 0B-6, whatever the hell that is. 0B. What page are we on? 14. We want 6. 8, 7, 6. I think that's right there, look. Spark plug gap 0.7 to 0.8 of a millimetre. And the ones that are being supplied, geez, is preset in the factory at 0.9. Come on, camera, focus. There we are, look. So we need to change the plug gap. These are wrong. It's the wrong gap. Damn it. I got sent this in by a viewer. It's made by Champion Spark Plug Gap Tool. That's in inches. And this side's in millimetres. I need millimetres. I'm a millimetres kind of a guy. So it should be 0.9 at the moment, as per, we'll come back, as per the box. Another good reason for using a mat when you drop the spark plugs on the bench. Okay, that's 0.9, which it is just, sorry camera. And the next one down is 0.75, and the spec was 0.7 to 0.8. So 0.75 is bang in the middle of spec, which is fantastic. And of course that's too sloppy. So you have a little tool, there's one sticking out here, look, where we can actually put that over the, geez, don't catch the porcelain, and bend it down with a smaller one. Let's try that. Okay, we can give it a little tweak. I just don't want to catch the porcelain at the top of the plug, that's all. Okay, right, so let's try that. Dum, 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 dum. Inches, nope. There we are, millimetres. Oh, still wants some more. Let's go in with some more then. Let's do the more thing. Oh, God. Okay. Hopefully all this is in focus for you. I normally just push them down on the vise when nobody's watching. Right, let's try that. Big concern always that that bit of metal there could actually crack the porcelain on the inside. Be super careful. Right, millimetres, 0.75. Yes, right, that one is good. Good to go. Right, next plug. I wonder who still bothers to do this kind of stuff, honestly. Right, so let's check it again then. We're in centimetres, sorry, millimetres, dum 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 dum. 0.75, there he is. It should be loose. It is loose. Okay, let's get the twizzly thing, stick it in there. Keep an eye on that porcelain. Wow. There we go. Bend it in a bit, not too much, probably overcooked it on this one. Right, 0.75. Oh yeah, look at that. Good tight fit. Perfect. Okay, so both spark plugs are now gapped and ready to be fitted. Now, there's one more thing before we put them in. Now, this always causes many comments to hit each particular video that includes this particular aspect. So I'm going to address it now so that you don't need to comment if you don't want to. If you feel compelled to comment, by all means. There's two groups of people in the world, a bit like the old Apple iPhone people and the Android people. I can't cope with Apple phones. I love Android phones. To me, they're intuitive. They just work. The iPhone that I have for work There's so many occasions where it's nearly got thrown across the room because it wouldn't do what I expected it to do, or it did something weird that I didn't expect it to do. Anyway, I digress. Spark plugs go into cylinder heads and sometimes they seize in. Now, the manual doesn't mention anything about putting any kind of lubricant on the threads. You won't find that written anywhere, but I do. And a lot of people out there will also do this, and just about as many people out there will say you can't do that. You're going to affect the torque setting. Rah, you know, but hey, fight it out in the comments, I don't mind. So we've got here some Forge S424 aluminium paste, aluminum paste. A bit like the copper slip that we use, or copper paste we use. This is an aluminium based product and I use it a lot. It's really good actually. Good for like suspension linkages, needle roller bearings that get, that work in a really harsh environment. Anyway, so a little tiny bit is all we need. So I'm just going to camera Andy, just going to pop some on there, look. That's all you need. I know it's not focusing because it's a pain in the ass today, this camera. There, look. Is that going to focus? Anyway, you get the idea. There we are. So just a little tiny bit. Not a lot, as Paul Daniels would say. Not a lot. A little bit. So we'll do this one. There. That's all we need. Less is more. Less is more. There we are. So not a lot. And now we can go and pop these in, knowing that whenever that thing gets serviced again, who knows, it could be in 5 years' time. Some farmers are like that. We're going to be able to get the spark plugs out. Or whoever goes into that bike to do the service will be able to get the spark plugs out. Or both of them. Okay, back to the bike. Right, let's do the hardest one first. I'm going to go up from the front again. There we go. And I'm only using the camera really. Let's get that back in its hole. There we go. That was pretty slick. Wasn't too bad, all things considered. So we'll just wind that in by hand. Obviously these need to be torqued in. So we'll go and find out whatever the torque setting is. I think I spotted it earlier on. Fancy having 2 spark plugs. Twice the running cost. On spark plugs, obviously. I think we're there. Running out of ability to grip. Right. That's that one. Now, I'm not sure if I can do this one from the front or not. Just bear with me because there's not a lot of room. I don't want to knock any dirt in there. Very hard to see with the exhaust in place. There. Right, it's in. Just want to get it started with 2 fingers because the last thing you want to do is cross thread, and this one was at a weird angle, if I remember rightly. My wrist doesn't do that. There we are. Perfect. I think it's time for the elevator music again, don't you? I'll have to try and find something and stick it on the video. So many threads. It's like putting 3 spark plugs in at once. You know when you get cramp in your fingers? I think we're far off now. I think we're there. Right, we'll leave that one on. Let's go and find out what the torque setting is. There we go, look. Tightening torque for the spark plug is 11 Newton meters. Woohoo! Right, 11. It's easy with the camera because I can see what I'm doing then. We've got 11 there, look. Dum 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 dum. 11. That works. Excellent. Right, let's try this one first since the socket's already on there. Come on, torque wrench, you can click into there. There we go. Right. Now, there's not much of an arc available, and I'm down on my knees. 1 click at a time, mister. Jeez. There we go, we're getting there now. That's that one done. Right, can we get on there? No, I need an extension bar. Right, bear with me, people. Now, is this going to be too long so it hits the camera? I think it might be alright. Okay, we are on. Perfect. Right, let's get rid of the sockets. They're in! Woohoo! We've got some Forge S421 dielectric grease. So I'm going to spray the bit of that inside each plug cap, just for peace of mind. That's one, and that one was spark plug number 2, the second one we took out. We'll clip them on in a second. And here's the other one. There we go. Coolio. Right, let's pop that one on. Right, still this one to clip in. There we go. Job done. Right, another job done on this Suzuki 500 Kingquad. I won't say we're cooking on gas because it's taken me a while to get all this stuff done and film it. It's been about 2 days work, to be honest, by the looks of it. But anyway, new spark plugs are in on this single cylinder engine. It's not often you say that kind of stuff, is it? What have we covered in the video? Well, we've covered the spark plug gap, which was 0.7 to 0.8 of a mil, and the torque setting, which was 11 Newton meters. Also showing you how to get in there, and of course the importance of using some dielectric grease or spray inside the plug caps to try and keep that moisture out. That's the reason for it. If you keep the moisture out, you don't get corrosion. Pretty simple. Okay, crew, well, if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button? I think it's up there somewhere. And then that way, or maybe this side, I've no idea, it could be on this side actually. And then that way, if you ring the bell, you won't miss any more of the videos in this series. That's actually not a bad little bike, is it, to be fair? There's going to be lots more videos coming up. I've got rear diff oil to do. Actually, I was going to do that as this video, but I couldn't because I haven't got the right oil. It needs, what is it, Mobile Fluid 424. I haven't got any of that. It's got a wet brake in the final drive, and it needs special oil. You can't just use normal EP8090 oil in there. It's not going to work. The brake will probably lose efficiency. It won't work as well. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals, or my email address is down in the description, andymechanic@live.co.uk. Oh, that's lunch. Now, if you want to support the channel, which, you know, it'd be great if you would, you can do that through Patreon or through PayPal. If it's through PayPal, then it's the same email address again to send it to, which is andymechanic@live.co.uk. Okay, crew, well, I've got lots more work to do on this formidable ATV. Watch out for the next video. Cheers, crew. Over and out.
And we get the flip again.
Oh!
Yes.